Let's see, are we a little close or are we just a little fat? What could it be? Anybody's guess. Let's go. All right, let's move this a little bit back. Just a smidgelage. Let's get this straight. Boom, straighter than me. I think we're just a little too close. Let's fix that. Let's see. All right, that's a little better for you, for me, for everyone. No, too much. Good God. Let's live with it. Let's breathe with it. Let's be with it. All right. Boom. All right, we're here. We're doing a stoned lasagna soup. Let's turn on this heat. I'm gonna print this recipe up. Wow. Let's get this clicking over and done with. All right, what's up everybody? We are doing a stoned lasagna soup. We're making this for one of my clients. She's got stage 4 pancreatic cancer. This is our cactus oil here. We're gonna throw in about 250 milligrams of THC. This is probably gonna make about 6-7 doses. So each one is gonna be a nice, healthy 30-25 dose. All right, we want to get rid of some of that clicking. Say hello, welcome, welcome. This is your favorite stoned chef. We want to heat up this oil a little bit. And we're gonna add in 1 cup of onions. We got a nice chopped onion here. This recipe is really simple. Wow, there we go. All right, let's heat up this oil. We're gonna put our chopped onions in. It's very, very easy. We basically are gonna make like a little bit of a tomato soup, and we're gonna cut up some lasagna noodles, toss them in. We're gonna top it with some fresh basil, some ragout. Each bowl is gonna have anywhere between 30 and 40 milligrams in it, so we're gonna have a nice, nice time. It's one of my favorite. It's a 1-pot recipe, so you don't have to make up much of a mess. If you wanna make this for your family, obviously just use regular olive oil instead of wheat oil. Nice and easy. Only thing I'm missing are some canned tomatoes. I gotta run and get those. In due time we'll go, in due time. Welcome everybody. If you're here, say hello. Let me know who you are. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I don't know, if you're subscribed, I think you could still comment either way. So come say hello. If you're on the Patreon, welcome. We're gonna do a whole one pot series. So we're gonna do one stoner, one pot of food, easy peasy, good for your family, good for your friends, good for yourself. You can make this, honestly, this is like the Italian version. When you're sick, you make a nice lasagna soup. It's quick and easy, one pot, not a lot of cleaning, and then you got leftovers for the whole week, right in the sweet zone. That's where we want to be. We're just gonna basically put these, get your spoon. I like to use a little wood in the crock pot here. We want to hear a little sizzle, but we don't want it to burn. We got a nice medium heat cooking. That luscious hair, we're living in it. We're doing it. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna saute these for like 3-4 minutes. Throw a little garlic in. Then we're gonna get a little sweet sausage in there. Poof. You know how I like my sweet sausage. Let's go. Just need about a cup of onions. I don't like to go too crazy. I'm not the biggest onion guy. You could do a mirepoix here, but you want to just keep it kind of Italian, so we just do onions and garlic. And we want these to be translucent. So we're gonna give them about 3 minutes in this bad boy. Beautiful. We are gonna put a little bit of love into this here. I'm gonna go get these canned tomatoes. I shall return. What a delicious sound that is. I'm gonna get the sausage in here next. We're gonna brown that up, and then we're gonna kind of just cook everything all together. You can get spicy Italian sausage if that's how you like to roll. I went sweet Italian sausage, and then I'll add a little hot honey, which I like. But I got a sensitive tummy, so I want to be in real heavy control of how much heat I put in this thing, how much spice. Okay. It's a lot of, waiting around. We want these to get some nice color before we add any garlic into the mix, because garlic is going to burn fast. So you want to get it fragrant here. Make sure you have enough oil. Make sure you got it on medium heat. You want to hear a nice sizzling. Ooh, it's got a little dark outside. It's a good time to hit the bowl. If you got any questions for me, please feel free to ask. A little lighter. Welcome. We're making a little stoned lasagna soup, baby. We got about 250 milligrams of THC, sauteing these beautiful diced onions here. And we're gonna see if we can make this in 30 minutes or less. We can get a nice 30-minute or less going here. We got meals for the week, for the fam. Obviously not for the kids, but you know how we be. That's out. Work with me here. All right. I got a little Backpack Boys Super Lemon Haze, which has been pretty divine, what I've been getting into lately. I love the smell of onions, and I like the taste of onion, but the texture of onion makes me vomit, so not a big fan. Let's get a couple of these into the chamber here. It's finally getting warm here in New Jersey, super nice. Super beautiful. Another minute on these onions and we're good to go. We can get the sweet sausage in here, and then I can go find that can of tomatoes that I need. As an Italian, it's obligatory to have about 30 cans of crushed San Marzano tomatoes sitting around in your garage. Through all the temperatures, hot, cold, everything. That's the Italian way. Once you start to see these get a little color, that's when you kind of know. That's Whitney Houston wants to know, how will I know? That's how you will know. A little bit of color. We're gonna get some garlic. I got some nice, beautiful garlic paste. This beautiful Italian garlic paste, and I got some pesto paste. I like that. Usually, what I'll do is I'll make pesto, and whenever I make pesto, I make a lot. And then what I do with the leftovers is I freeze them in ice cube trays. And instead of using oregano, basil, Italian seasoning, I just throw a couple cubes of pesto in that son of a bee. And boy, delight. That's the hack you need to know. You're welcome. All right, let's get one good hit and then we're in it. All right. Beautiful. Delish. Absolutely. Some weed is just boll weed, pipe weed. I don't know if you can see in here, but we got a nice, delicious little color going. Now we're going to go in with our garlic paste, and we want to be careful because this can burn fast. So we don't want to overdo it. We want to give it a minute tops. You could use freshly minced garlic. If you got garlic, I guess you could use that in a pinch. I won't tell anyone, but the goal here is to make everything nice and fragrant. Got this oils kind of marinating in these flavors. We got the onion and garlic in here, kind of getting to know each other. And now we're gonna go in with our sweet Italian sausage. Bit of the old sausage. What we're gonna do here is cook this. We wanna brown it on all sides, nice and beautiful. And what we're gonna do is with our spoon is we're gonna break these up into little chunks because this is gonna be like soup. So the portions, we wanna put them into bowls, so we wanna break them up. There we go, let's do that gracefully. Wow, look at me, Mom. Do that. So we want to brown this up. And what we're going to do is use this to break it up into little pieces. And this whole time, we're not going into the oven. We're just staying right here in the Dutchie, right on the stove. 25 minutes, you're going to have a delicious lasagna soup. Oh, the smell of it already, it's like an oniony garlic. Now we got some sausage going in this mix. It's very sweet. I'm telling you, gentlemen, ladies, make this for the person you love. Make this for your friends. Make this for your mom, your grandma. It's so easy. It is sweet Italian sausage, pork sausage. You can use beef. You could even use chicken, short rib. You can kind of go as you want. You want something a little bit leaner because you're going to cook everything in the grease. So don't go too crazy with the fat. You don't want a ton of grease. And if you do use something very fatty like bacon or pancetta or guanciale, something like that, you can always use a little bit of kind of a paper towel to get some of the grease out. But we want all this flavor. We want all this fond in here. And you're just gonna go until you can't see any more pink in the sausage. And you wanna keep breaking it up as much as you can. Get a nice even cook. Then we're gonna go in with our liquids. So once this kind of gets all brown, we're gonna go in with chicken broth. We're gonna go in with any sort of tomato sauce. I have some vodka sauce left over from the pizza I made. I made some focaccia bread pizza earlier in the week. So I got about 24 ounces of vodka sauce. And we're gonna do about 32 ounces of broth, a can of whole peeled crushed tomatoes. And then we're gonna cook our lasagna in it once we bring it to a boil. So this should be nice and full of flavor. You can see the onions in here. You can start to smell the sausage coming through. Now, what I usually like to do here is I'm gonna add a little bit more of this garlic paste. And I just wanna get garlic everywhere. That's the slutty thing about me. And we're gonna mix this around. We're not gonna worry about it burning, but we're just gonna get it all over the sausage. Any bigger chunks at this point you want to get rid of. And the rest of the time it's gonna cook in liquid. So you wanna try to brown it as much as you can. It's gonna keep cooking. Let me get my can of tomatoes. Boom. Always got it on deck here, baby. And what we're gonna do is, once we get these tomatoes in, we're gonna crush them up by hand. You could also use a little immersion blender if you want the texture to be really smooth. But I think you got a lot of nice textures and flavors here kind of going. So, get a can opener. Some people now would pull out the sausage. I like to leave it all in. I want everything to kind of cook together. You hear that beautiful sizzle. The onions are the perfect brown. And this cast iron holds so much flavor. So it's just garlicky onion. Ooh. And we're gonna salt, pepper, season later. So don't go too crazy here. Don't worry about it. Now we're just about ready to go here with the sausage. Bit of the old sausage. Get some of these onions down. Gorge. This smells incredible. I wish you could smell it with me. Okay. All right, going in with all this broth here. The whole thing, brother. Sabina, what's up, my love? How you been? How are you? Make a little lasagna soup when you get sick, you know. A one-pot recipe. We got our whole peeled tomatoes going in. Oh, splash zone big time. All right, beautiful. A little basil in that fucker. We got our vodka sauce. All of it in there. We want to bring this to a light boil. You're hungover, you little party animal, you. Well, I'm showing you guys how to make lasagna soup here. Nice stone little lasagna soup. I got about 250 milligrams in this bad boy. I'm making this for my friend's mom, who's stage 4. So, nice little hearty, dense, stoned little treat. We want to get this to a nice light boil. But first, we're going to add a few spices. I got our pesto here, so our basil, oregano, all that fun stuff. We want to be nice and generous. Bing, bang, boom. We're going to add some cheese later. This is where you want to add a little salt, a little pepper. I'm going to add a little heavy cream as well, because I like my vodka sauce a little bit on the light side. Probably one more pinch of salt will be nice. Beautiful. Remember, we want a light boil here. A little bit of heavy cream. I want a really nice light pink sauce. Beautiful. See that color is going to change here? Nice and pink. We got some tomato chunks in there. Let me grab a little pep. Oof, look how gorgeous that looks. We do a little crushed red pep. We add a little heat to this, so and so. That's a nice amount. And we want to keep crushing up those tomatoes as the heat kind of gets going. It'll make it a little bit easier. But we like think chunky tomatoes, right? Look at that color, gorge. If you want to go lighter, you just add a little more heavy cream. This is a good time to taste it, try it, keep it going, pay attention to what's happening. Remember, we want a light boil. This is where we're doing all of our seasoning. We want all of our flavor. And now I'm going to show you that this is the only time where it's ever appropriate to break your noodles, because we're making a soup here. So we want to be able to ladle it, so we break the lasagna noodle. And you should have nice chunks. This should be a nice chunky soup. We love it. We like the textures, we want them all. Okay, bringing this to a light boil. Then we're gonna grab our noodles. We got a little bit of a mess here to clean up. We got our cheese. We need some Parmesan. A little Pecorino Romano is what we're gonna do because we're real Italians. Okay. That goes there. This comes here for me. Every day I get in the queue. Get on the bus, it takes me to you. All right, we want a light boil. And this is gonna continue on a light boil while the lasagna noodles are in. And before we put the lasagna noodles in, we're gonna break them, just so we can spoon them into a bowl. Now this is only another mile. Cause no fuss. Can I buy your magic bus? Ooh, let me plug my phone in too while this is coming to a boil. Insertion, delish. All right, lovely. This is starting to generate some heat. Light boil is coming, baby. Just want to let it happen. And then we're gonna break up the noodles, put them in here. They're gonna cook for 8 to 10 minutes until the noodles are tender. Throw in a little cheese. Daddy, we're on our way. Come on, boil for Papa. I don't want to add the top because I don't want to add any more moisture. I want to let the steam come out. I want it to thicken. I want to get it to a nice light boil on its own. Recipe, super simple. I could read it from start to finish. You need a few tablespoons of olive oil. You could use your infused can oil there. About 8 ounces or 1 cup of diced tomatoes. 2 or 3 garlic cloves minced. And then you need 32 ounces of chicken broth, 24 ounces of sauce, a 28-ounce can of whole peeled tomatoes. We want some seasoning, basil, oregano, Italian seasoning, salt, anything you kind of want to go there. You want a box of lasagna noodles. And then you want a little bit of Parmesan, a little bit of fresh mozz, and a little bit of ricotta on the top. So simple, so easy. We're in it now, probably, I would say, close to 10 minutes, and we're already pretty much mostly there. We got a light boil starting to take hold. Some of these tomatoes are a little bit too big, and that's okay. We're gonna crush them up. If you don't get this light boil right here, your noodles are not gonna cook as fast as you want. So just give it the extra time, give it a little bit extra heat. And again, if you wanna go lighter on the sauce, just add a little bit more heavy cream. See, some people see how pink that is? Some people like a red sauce. I like a pink sauce. So that is always my go-to when it's time. Oh, this thing's about to blow. Love it. About to blow, about to blow. And if you're watching this on the Patreon, and we know that you are, we're gonna be doing this once a week. We're gonna do a one-pot recipe. Nice, easy, simple. We could do it on Saturdays, we could do it Sundays, we could do it Thursdays. We'll figure it out. Here comes the light boil, if you can see. It took about 2-3 minutes to get there with all the broth and the sauce and the tomatoes. Gorgeous. Now we don't want to lower this temp. This is the temp we want to be. And we want to break these noodles up. Depends how big you want to get them. You can get little, you're going to ladle it in like it's soup. So don't worry about making them too small. They're all going to get used. I like to break them in 4 if I can. I try not to do that, but what are you going to do? Charge it to the game. Now we want to get these noodles in there, and we want to keep this heat. And we want to let them get nice and submerged and soft. And you'll see some of the bigger tomatoes kind of come to the top here. Beautiful. We can break them up a little bit more. 8 to 10 minutes here. Make sure everything's all nice and submerged. Voila. Magnifique, as they say. So we're just gonna cook this nice and easy until the noodles are tender. Like I said, everything's getting done in here, so. Just a smidger. Oh, delicious. You want a nice light boil. If you see a rolling boil like this, just go down a tiny bit, but that you can gain heat. We're gonna get all the nice starchy pasta cooking right in this bowl. We're not draining water, we're not doing any of that kind of stuff. So we're gonna get a lot of flavor, a lot of easy, delicious flavors in one little pot. 30 minutes, you got dinner for 6, maybe even more. I don't know how you guys eat. If you guys eat like Italians, you probably got dinner for 4 or 5. Gavones are us. See all these tomatoes that are kind of sneaking up here in this heat, and with the noodles kind of getting way down to the bottom, they come to the top, and you just ameliorate them. Beautiful boil going here. I wish you guys could smell this. The Grand Duchy. Like someone's in my backyard, but I think it's just bees and bats and birds. They're just out in full force now. Glad if you made it this far along. Come on in. Water's fine. Just your favorite stone chef making stone foods. Getting stoned in the process too, you know? Ooh, the little sausage in here. These noodles are getting tender. Tender cans. We still got another 6 minutes or so of them cooking like this. So let's have a moment here. Let's grate up some cheese. Let's enjoy that first. Beautiful. We got string cheese. I could have just shredded it apart. I think almost like big clumps of this mutz would be nice. You want to go 8 to 10 minutes. You want a nice al dente. You're not going to be cooking it much more after this. We're just going to get a bunch of cheese in there, and then we want it to be ready to serve. So it's not like you kind of want to get it to the tenderness that you want it to be. You want to make sure you get any noodles off the bottom. Give them a nice stir. Make them all get a little love. Deepen that pot. It's also a good way to let out some steam, cool it down a little bit. Beautiful. Keep crushing up these tomatoes. Wow, it's gonna get thicker too. Like a nice Kardashian. Whew. Thicker over time, that's the key. I really like also Pierce Brosnan. You see how thick Pierce Brosnan's been looking? Poof. You got to see some basil in here. You got to see some chunks of tomato. You see some noodles, some sausage. Oh. And this vodka sauce is just getting thicker. Beautiful. All right, we're about 4 minutes in. We got another 4 or 5 minutes to go. Just let it go, baby. Let it sizzle up. Just be like Elsa. If you got any cannabis questions or food questions while you're here, please don't be shy about it. This is what we want. This is what dreams are made of. Ooh, they're starting to get soft. Keep scraping the bottom. Come on, you can see this, can't you? God damn. Papa's done it again. An absolute treat for everyone. Welcome. We're on our last legs here. We got another 4 minutes left. These lasagna noodles are cooking inside our lasagna soup, if you will. And we are very close to adding some cheese and ladling it the fuck out into a bowl and enjoying it. These noodles are thick. I also noticed that they sell like oven-ready noodles. So they're already cooked and then they're kind of laid in between wax paper. So you don't have to worry about boiling the noodles and making lasagna. I suppose you can go that route, but I really like, if you're in a rush and don't have the 10 minutes, thank you, appreciate you. If you don't have the 10 minutes to do it, sure, but I would like, all these noodles now are soaking up the flavor of the vodka sauce, the tomatoes, the onions, the garlic, the wheat oil. So you get a nice little cannabis-y soup. And you know, it's just 10 minutes of your life. And you can see it is reducing and getting thicker. All while it's kind of adding this nice sheen here. That's from the starch. Beautiful. Formata, come on down, have some. we're about 6-7 minutes in, so we got another 1 to 3 minutes. Gonna kind of play by ear. Break up some more tomatoes here. Beautiful. Be careful, don't let it spit up at you unless you give it some consent first. The trick here is just getting the noodles right, gang. You just want to have the right texture noodle. Everything else, the flavor, everything is going to be there. And you want to kind of, I can tell it looks tough still. Yeah. So we're probably going closer to 3 minutes, but we don't want to overcook or overheat. So we got a nice steady speed. 10 minutes is great. I wish YouTube would let me just play music, honestly. We'd be vibing out right now. Maybe a little Whitney Houston. I said Whitney Houston, and now. I'm telling you, leftovers for the week. There's so much in here. This thing is full. I went to the grocery store. I pretty much bought everything except the sauce. It cost me like 34 bucks, but you're getting 6 meals. So, you know, it's $6 a meal, $5 a meal. Beautiful. Can't beat it. And I guarantee you, this is so tasty and delicious. You can have this twice in a week, 3 times even if, you know. Sometimes you're craving it hard, and that's what you need to have. But you could eat this for lunch. It's nice and hearty. You could eat it for dinner. It'll fill you up. Just like most Italian food, it'll really get the job done as far as will it fill you up. These noodles are getting a little better here. Oh yeah. 2 more minutes and we are in the money. And we're what, 30 minutes in? Beautiful. It's exactly where we want to be right now. We're gonna add some cheese. We're gonna add some, we got some pecorino romano. You could do grated parm. Then we got a little fresh mozz. We want to get it all in there together. We'll lower the heat just a tiny bit. Look at this beautiful boil. Oh, these noodles are almost there. Begging for it. Begging for it now. Begging for it hard. Whew. We got a poker night tonight. I don't know how that's gonna go over. But fuck it, right? Now, usually this would be a 10 to 12 minute, but I say 8 to 10 because we're gonna add some cheese and cook it for a couple more minutes. And then we're gonna turn the heat off. It's gonna start to cook. So let's add the Parmesan now. We need one of these bigger noodles. Come and pop. And they very easily start to break. You know, you're kind of in the money. I really just need a pair of tongs, and I would have this wrap instead of this flat fucking thing. Just a little tippy-tappy, flippy-flappy. All right, we're going in with all the cheese. Amazing. Give me everything. This is gonna thicken this bad boy up nice and break up all the chunks. Get it in the heat. Wow, look at that color change, a little bit of grit. The noodles are getting thick. Serena! Where are you, Serena? right at the 10-minute mark. Let's lower this heat a tiny, tiny bit. And we're gonna get our fresh mutts in there. And then we're done, ladies and gents. Oh, hello, good morning. Just in time to eat, smart lady. We don't want to be too chunky here. Say good morning. It's 5 o'clock. You're in the same time zone as me. You can shred it up. I like this to be in chunks here. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but hey. Thai food is a labor of love. And we should love the labor. Just want to work hard at work worth doing. I think that's Eleanor Roosevelt. One of history's greatest rug munchers. How are you, dear? How are things? Nice. Yeah, that's smart. It's all about if you can be productive now for the rest of the day. And when I say that, I mean you can be equally productive as you were this morning, and you're really ahead. I like to set a nice low bar, and I like to think all the relationships in my life, I ask the same from those people and those partners. Oh man, this is incredible. Can you see how crazy this looks? From now till 9 p.m., you're unstoppable. Honestly, Sabina came in here before talking about how hungover she was from yesterday. And even though she is on the West Coast, it's still 2 o'clock in the afternoon there. So she seemed pretty banged up, which is fun. I love that for you guys. All right, right around 12 minutes, we want to shut this heat off here. The noodles, you don't want to overcook them. Yes. It's like a nice little, like, you know, you soup, you get the bubbling noise. It's everything you can want that's not sex, you know? Even though in its own way, it is sensual. It can be sexual. Wait till I make a bowl of this bad boy. There's a big block of mozz here. We're almost through it. I wish I did things the easy way, but I'd rather do them the right way sometimes when it comes to food. I really don't feel that way anywhere else in life. It's just food, which is crazy, but hey, this is who we are. This is what we do. Okay, the heat is off. The heat is off. The heat is off. All right, we get this last bit of cheese in there. I got some fresh ragout. We're gonna make a nice little, we're gonna ladle into a nice bowl with a dollop of fresh ragout, and oh, we're just gonna have ourselves a meal right now. One pot meal, 250 milligrams in here. And I would say this took less than 40 minutes. We're right around 37, 38 minutes. Wow, look how thick she got. I'm so proud of her. All right, the heat is off. We got all of our tomatoes, our basil, our cheese, our sausage. Just look at how stringy. A lot of cheese, baby. Welcome to the Italian culture. Nothing but cheese, nothing but garlic, nothing but noodles. Look at that. I mean, come on. If someone said they were bringing you soup and this is what you got, a wet lasagna bowl. Whoo! Talking dirty to me now. Talking so dirty. Speaking of which, I should take my acid reflux tablet. All right, let's move this. Just omeprazole it up. You're fine. We didn't use you. Look what I got to wash. Literally nothing. Ugats. I got this thing here, and I got that little cup measure. 3 things to wash. All right, let's let this cool down for a second. Let's do this. Let's get you. All right, we'll make a bowl and we'll have a nice little time with it. Let's get a ladle. Let's get a bowl. Zero dishes. And honestly, you're not really, you're like measuring with your soul, so you're just kind of dumping shit in there. It's the best. I'm going to do a whole series of one pot. I got about 10 really nice recipes. If we like them, we can keep going. But I just feel like they're so economical. Like I said, it's $40 here. I bet you there's 8 servings in this bad boy. So you're looking at $5 a serving. That's great. In this economy, God damn it. My biggest gripe with the regatta is this plastic. I always want to try to do it without making a mess of my hands or my surface, and I just realized I'm Italian and that's impossible. Wow, pork shoulder and potatoes. 2 of my great loves. All right, let's get a ladle. Let's get a ladle. And let's be sexual about it, huh? Look at that. Now we want to top it with just a little razzle dazzle here. I present to you lasagna soup. Look at that. Look at her. She's a beaut, Clark. This is just so hot, I don't even think I can eat it right now. The heat is on, like I said. I was trying to tell you guys the heat was on. Maybe that was off. All right, that's it. Super simple, super easy. Thank you, darling. I know, it's gorgeous. I'm gonna devour this thing. I love it. Nice and easy. Look at that, 45-minute stream. I got an entire meal for 6 or 8 people. There's about 35 milligrams of some beautiful THC, no CBD, all cannabis here. And we're just gonna lightly have the best night ever. I'm gonna eat this. I'm gonna relax on the couch. The Knicks just won. I'm gonna maybe go out and play a little poker, have myself a good night. We will see you next week. I don't know if we want to keep the Saturday vibe going. Maybe a little bit too late on the Saturday. The weather's getting nice, so people aren't really hunkered in. So maybe we'll do a Thursday night. Maybe we'll do a Tuesday night. Let's talk about it. Let me know if you like the recipe. Let me know if you make the recipe. If there's a better time for us to be doing this with you, please let us know. We're doing this together. But that's week 1 of the One Pot Farmata. Find us over on TikTok. I'll be going live over there a lot more soon too. I love you all. We'll see you soon.